Hey, what's going on guys, MYTHIC here. And in today's video, we're going to be taking a look at a Abzan Blink deck for standard best of one. So this is a mid-rangey deck that can grind super hard with control and take out aggro decks and get a hell of a lot of card advantage. And it's a lot of fun, so we're going to get into the list, and we're going to start by reviewing the new Kaldheim cards, because a lot of this shell you guys know from previous standard. So the main incentive to be an Abzan, well, I mean, of course, Yorion is the incentive to be in white, but the reason we're in black-green is for the new enchantment Binding of the Old Gods. So chapter 1 is super powerful. It's destroy target non-land permanent and opponent controls, being able to blow up anything regardless of CMC and regardless of permanent type is crazy, and being able to blink that is also super solid. Chapter 2 lets you search for a forest card, and forest doesn't only mean basic forest, it lets us search for a triome too, because they have the land type forest underneath it, so that's really key. And chapter 3 isn't great. All your creatures gain death touch until end of turn. It can still come up and force weird blocks, but we're really trying to blink it at so make it blow something up, get to your next turn, ramp, and then blink it. Also, the forest enters tapped, just so just to clarify that, but this would enter tapped anyways, so you pretty much always want to be fetching your triome. Anyways, we're going to be moving on to other cards from Kaldheim. We have Kaya the Inexorable. So this card is really weird. It's kind of built like a control planeswalker, but that wants to have creatures. And luckily for us, we have pretty much that exact shell. So we're going to start off with the -3. It's very simple. Exile target non-land permanent. So that's, as we just covered, a really powerful ability, and being able to slam it and take something out is great. And the +1 is put a ghost form counter on up to one target non-token creature. It gains when this creature dies or is put into exile, return it to its owner's hand. So we get to return our geese, our princes, Skyclave apparitions, wicked wolves, Yorion. Is it planeswalker? Let me just make sure. No, so we can't return our Garrick, but yeah, we can return our Yorion. It's just a really powerful planeswalker in this deck, and once we do that, we get a 1/1 spirit token. So basically, you can recur all these things because every creature we have has a powerful ETB. Well, I mean, the goose has a less powerful ETB, makes a food, can blink something, gain some life, scry, exile a thing, draw a card, fight spell on a creature, blink your whole board. So every creature we can recur with Kaya has a really good ETB, making it a great fit for the deck, and we're also in those colors. Other new Kaldheim cards, a fun little thing, we got Valky again. Sorry guys, this card is freaking sick. We can blink it to take another creature. So if you didn't see yesterday's video, I explained how you can steal a creature, but if Valky gets clipped, then they do get the creature back even if you've transformed into it. So kind of like a blinkable Kitesail freebooter for creatures, but we do run a sneaky bit of red mana. We have Force of Triomes in the place that the Orzhov Temple would take. So this is basically a black-white tap land, but it helps us splash red for Valky, God of Lies. Actually, sorry, for Tibalt, Cosmic Imposter. And by the time we're at 7 mana, we've probably found one of these. If you guys are more worried about that, like not hitting red mana, then you can run like 1 or 2 pathways that have red on the backside, but I'm not too worried about it, and we can always play other things or just the Valky itself. So that's it for the new cards. Aside from that, we have the food engine. I was thinking of either going with a Doom Foretold engine, in which case these Trail of Crumbs would have been golden eggs, and these Wicked Wolves would have been, golden eggs or Mazemind Tomes, and these Wicked Wolves would have been Doom Foretolds, and these geese would have probably been like removal spells or something, or maybe another prince, kind of like filling up whatever I don't have 4 of, that type of thing. But I think because we are pretty heavily into green, because we want to take advantage of the Binding of the Old Gods, search for a forest, the food package gives us a more of a blink theme with all the ETBs and all the card advantage it provides. What haven't I covered? Yeah, Prince to help you get your loops on. We have the Apparition Glass Casket combo, which is super powerful. Other blinkable sagas include stuff you guys have seen. Birth of Meletes, get your planes. Elspeth's Nightmare, destroy something, take out their hand, take out their yard, blink it. ECD, blink it, reanimate. We have plenty of targets in the deck. It's great. Extinction Event because we are still best of one and we want to be able to take out our opponent's threats. Goose, again, it can help you fix your mana or ramp if for like a turn 3 binding if you need that type of removal. Anyways, the deck is super versatile. Main deck Yorians to help blink everything. Garrick as another top end planeswalker to help take over and close out the game. Mana base is, I would say, fairly standard. We have all the pathways in the Orzhov Abzan color combination. Abzan Triome, I explained this, Passage and some basics. Locthwain because it's the most powerful castle. That's it for the list, guys. It will be in the description down below as always. If you guys are enjoying the daily uploads now, be sure to drop a like on the video and consider subscribing. It really motivates me to make more content. And yeah, that's it for me, everybody. Let's get into some games. All right, hand is a little slow. But we have early removal into nothing for a minute. We can buy Yorian on 3, which is, like, fine. So I guess we just pass. In our deck on 1. We'll see what the opponent's on, but we are going to need to draw a bit better than this. Okay, Golgari. Golgari do nothing. We take these. I think I grab black and then put these on white and then this on green. Yeah, so I can put this on white. And then, I mean, there's nothing to cast it, so we just pass. Apparition is a pretty good draw if the opponent's playing creatures. Or even if they're not, and they're on some control-y shell. There are plenty of permanents to take out with it. The reason we fetch Swamp is because we can fetch Plains with Birth, and we can fetch Forests with Binding. Okay, so interesting card. So we're against the Poison deck. I think we can Apparition that. I actually think we're pretty happy to Apparition that. So this is a pretty cool card, although I don't know how good it's going to be in Constructed. Whenever a creature you control with Death Touch deals combat damage to an opponent, that player gets 2 poison counters, and if let's say me, I get 10 poison counters, I lose the game. So, you know, pretty cool tribal archetype. Golgari Poison. I don't know how many more poison cards are actually in the set, so, you know. Opponent has something. Maybe it was a bit greedy to attack there, I don't know. We'll play the Visionary. See if we can hit another land. If not, we can just play Kaya next turn. And we do hit the land, although it is tapped. But yeah, if ever we get to blink in these goodies, it's gonna look real nice. What you got? I'm thinking maybe they're cycling Triumph. Oh, just drawing a card off Foulmire Knight. So maybe they have an adventure engine. Maybe it's literally just good Death Touch creatures. Another Finn. Okay, Kaya's Emblem. At the beginning of your upkeep, you may cast a legendary spell from your hand, your graveyard, or from among cards you own in exile. We don't have too many legendary cards, and I think that's fine. So, okay, I can Apparition the Finn and Glass Casket the Foulmire Knight, and we just kind of deal with everything. Or vice versa. Yeah, we'll Apparition the Foulmire Knight and Glass Casket the Finn. Ooh, I can't because I didn't play this land correctly. Bit of a monkey. It's okay. We'll play this on green. We need double green. And buy the Yorian. Pass from there. We're still looking okay. I should have played land first to have 3 white sources available. Would I even have been able to? No, this is black. Okay, so opponent goes for a Murderous Rider. If they had attacked, I probably would have double blocked because Finn can only deal 1 point of damage. So to block or not, they're a minute off getting 10 poison counters. I don't think we block. Oh, those look cool. Alright guys, those actually look really sick. So Kaya, Kaya put a ghost form counter on like my visionary or something and then pass. Or I can just Yorion blink this. If I Yorion blink it, then we are going to draw a card. We're going to take out their fin, but they're going to be left with a couple spirits. I think I can set it up a little bit better. So we're going to start with the Kaya. We're going to Kaya. I could also just exile the fin. Maybe we just do that. Play the Triome in case we draw Tybalt. Pass the turn. I'm looking for a sequence with Yorion, or I can have Glass Casket on the field. And with Visionary, we have 7 mana next turn. Garrick, I mean, we have the ECD. We're not too worried. Makes the wolves. I mean, it's fine, right? Opponent can attack my Kaya and take it out. Or I can, like, trade away an Apparition. And the Apparition is not going to get anything right now. So I think that's fine. So we can go... Let me just make sure I'm tapping correctly. I don't want to be screwed by mana. So this says, whenever that creature dies or is put into exile. So if I plus on this Visionary, then exile it with Yorion, it'll be put into my hand. So I don't really want to do that. And I'm just going to get ECD ticking anyways. Yeah, so I think we start here regardless. I just get the ECD down on the Garrick. We're going to play this tap land no matter what. And now the question is, do we put the ghost form counter on the Kaya, or do we Glass Casket something? I mean, we can put the... I think we put the ghost form counter.
Here, let me.
And just pass and block with the Visionary. I don't know, there's a lot of options with this deck at pretty much all times. And opponent's going all in on Kaya. So they take it out here regardless, even if I block like this. So I guess we just eat the 1/1. Unless I want this to go to my hand. In which case we have 7 mana, I can play it, and if I draw land in the next 2 draw steps, blink it with Yorion. Actually, if this dies, this goes to my hand. And, like, yeah, so if I trade here, it goes to my hand. If not, we just sort of eat this. And then it goes to my hand anyways once I blink it. So sure, we'll just eat the 1/1. We can reanimate Kaya with the ECD anyways. So that's not this turn, that's next turn. And without... what's that creature's name? Finn. Then their Death Touch creatures don't look very threatening. Okay, so we technically could have had that sequence. I think we just Glass Casket one of the wolves. I can fight another 2/2 wolf. I don't think that's worth it. I can see, the thing is, if I blink this, it's gonna go to my hand, which is sort of weird, but I guess that's still fine because I can replay it, draw another card, and we're gonna get a 1/1 spirit. So sure. And do I want to keep them under ECD tax for another turn? I also think that's fine. Yeah, so it's put into exile and it doesn't actually get blinked. It goes to my hand and we get a 1/1 spirit. So I'm just doing this for the ECD tax, and we're gonna put another 2/2 in an empty box. So dope. We just trade the Foulmire Knight with the Spirit. Next turn we have Visionary draw a card and Wolf fight whatever we may want, although they have a very death touchy deck, but they have this Murderous Rider. So I'm feeling good. Binding of the Old Gods. 6 mana. So glad we blinked the ECD, because it would have done literal 0 had we just chilled with it there. We'll start with Visionary. Apparition. Apparition can take out the binding, stop some ramp. Sure. No problem. And we're gonna hold this back in case they want to attack the Filemire Knight and find a Finn. There's no rush. We're in a great spot. We can just chill out for a minute. We have no passive card advantage, but I am sure we'll be okay, guys. That's why Trail is so key. It gives us a passive form of card advantage. We haven't hit that, but it's still fine. Yeah, 4 mana take up my Yorion. And Shovel. Cool. Probably should have expected Shovel, honestly. So I can Wicked Wolf fight it, or I can just Yorion blink and take it out, which is kind of jokes. I mean, like, Yorion blink the Apparition and hold the wolf. I think that's also just fine. So we can play this on guess white. I don't think it really matters. And I know attacks. We're just gonna exile Visionary for another card, Apparition, and the Casket. Not playing the wolf because I want it to be able to fight something and I don't just want to trade it away. So opponent's gonna get a 4/4, but we knew about that. No attacks with the Spirit. And we'll pass the turn. So Apparition will take the Shovel. Source of card advantage gone. Casket will take the 4/4, and Llanowar will draw a card. I could have stacked my triggers differently, but I still think this... I figured it would work out just fine. Alright, flooding it a little bit. Vorin collects. Nice. Attacks with Vorin collects. Are they dead on board if I just hit them back? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. They're not. If I had poked in with this, they would have been. I think we can take 6. But we're gonna be in trouble soon. Okay, so Wicked Wolf plus Goose is hilarious. It means we can poke in for 9. And we can make this indestructible while it fights the Filemire Knight. So we'll go for it. And Goose can start making food for life. And we're going to activate in response, so it doesn't die to the Death Touch. And we don't get the counter because of Vorinclex, but it's fine. We'll hold land because I don't... just to bluff our opponent out. And we'll get in there for... I mean, we'll get in there with this, and I guess hold this as a kind of chump blocker, but this has trample. I just feel better about not attacking with the Spirit. I don't know what this opponent's running, and as long as we get 2 damage in, we're going to be okay. Maybe being able to soak up that 1 damage is going to end up mattering. I don't think it will, but, you know, just in case. Garrick. And maybe putting our opponent to 1 was worth it. Oh, double. That's actually sick. Double counters Garrick. So opponent can emblem right now. And if they do, hold on, can I get my leave battlefield? Yeah, so if they emblem, it gets +3/+3. So it just hits me for 9, and that's not enough. So we get there. On to the next one, guys. Okay, against Luris. Nothing on turn 2, actually nothing until turn 3, technically. But we're on the draw, so I'd keep. On the play, oh sorry, we're on the play, so I'd keep. On the draw, no chance. And we'll start out on a passage for the same reason, and probably fetch a swamp for the same reason that we did last time. And hope we find a good 2-drop. Oh, this is probably rogues, isn't it? Well, at least if they are rogues, we have an 80 card pile to make them miserable with. So we'll get black. Glass Casket, nice, so we do find a 2-drop. We'll put this on white. I guess pass phase and do nothing. If they had played a Wind Robber on 1, then we're super happy with the draw. Ruin Crab! Man, opponent held a Ruin Crab. Oh, if they had played it, we're feeling so much better. Anyways, they're milling me, and I am super happy if they're milling ECDs, because if they're milling ECDs, it means that we don't draw them and there's only one target in their entire deck. So we'll go Slither Boar, and we're going to take out that crab. It will mill me for another 3, but we'll stem the bleeding aside from that passage. And then we get to take a peek at their hand. Mill me some more. Valky and another Nightmare. I mean, I doubt this is even resolving at 7 mana. And if we're at 7 mana, we're probably winning the game anyways. Well, I mean, unless it's a super long mill game, we'll see what the opponent's up to. By the way, super happy these pathways are now on standard. Just, ooh, Foretell. But just, yeah, everyone that I was missing or that we were missing, glad they're back. Ooh, fun interaction. You can foretell away cards so your opponent can't steal them. Okay, we're gonna ditch Cling to Dust. So it's either Cling to Dust or Agadeems. Tempted to go with Cling just because it can keep them in the game for a while and Nightmare will exile it from their yard next turn. So we'll go for the Cling. We'll play out land and go for the Visionary. Opponent can play Thieves Guild Enforcer in response, which is like whatever. I could have also thinned my deck, but I'm okay with drawing land right now. Okay, how many lands are in my deck? How many basics, I mean? Enough. So we can let this mill me. Oh, trail. That's frustrating. Sure. Buckle in, guys. Might be a long game. This is also pretty nice. We can secure the red source in case we draw a Tybalt. Perfect. Opponent has to play this as a land to Bloodchief's Thirst my Visionary, which is more than fine. Yep. And I think they're holding this to find another Ruin Crab, because pretty sure they know that they're more likely to beat me that way than any other way. Okay, so I'm going to grab another forest here to have double green for the Wicked Wolf. And then, even though I can get another one with Binding soon. Opponent's graveyard gone. Cling is gone, very good. We're going to play the Binding, take out the Enforcer. Play tap land. And if the opponent gives us some juicy permanent to take out next turn, then we're going to be happy to play Yorion. Passage, and they crack it. That's what we like to see. Although that might mean that they have a Into the Story. Okay, get to search my land, my deck for a basic land. A basic forest. Interesting. I can blink this to get another land and just have something on the field. Or I can buy Yorion, do nothing else. This also comes back on my end step, destroying something, but there's nothing to destroy yet. Let's play this on white. I'm gonna pass to my next phase, see if they want to do anything. We can buy another Yorion and just chill out for a minute. We're far from being taken out. And there's a Thought Thief. And another Thought Thief. This is what I mean. Our sorcery speed interaction doesn't bode too well against rogues, but my hope is that we overpower them. They still have something in the Foretell zone, so that could be a... Actually, can they? No, they can't play Saw It Coming, because they have lures, unless that's permanent. Hold on, let me just double check. Yeah, you may cast one, no, each permanent in your starting deck. So this can be a Sought coming, which, you know, red flag, but yeah, we're gonna start it with the Lochthwain. That's a good draw, by the way. We're gonna play out a Casket. See if the opponent wants to counter it. Nope. Take out one of the Thought Thieves. And we're gonna try for a Wicked Wolf. I wouldn't be surprised if they play Sought coming right now. Yep, that's probably a Sought coming. Ooh, must have been really conservative. So they let that go off, meaning if we can blink the wolf, we have more fights available. They should have flashed that in. If they'd flashed that in, our Wicked Wolf trades with the other Thought Thief. Oh, and there's a Kaya. That would have been so nice. They buy Luris. They don't play Luris. Attack the Thought Thief. They'll be for some more. I mean, maybe finding ACD right now isn't the worst thing. So I can play Yorion. It probably just gets countered. Hold on. Let me just make sure I still have double green after I tap. Yeah. So let's attack with the wolf first. Try to get in some damage. Opponent takes it and we'll go for the Yorion. I would not be surprised if saw it coming. Okay, that's fine. That resolves. That's how we still held up double green for the other wolf to fight the third Thought Thief, I think. Yep, that's the third Thought Thief. Now Luris is going to come down, reanimate something, and if they don't have another counterspell, we're going to get double removal of the Yorion. Okay, so this last card has to be a counterspell for this Yorion, or we're going to eat a lot of their board. Enforcer. Mill, land, and a binding, which is like fine, and it's a land. Okay, we're in the clear for this last Yorion, boys. And it's an apparition. Oh, this makes everything more interesting. Okay, so I can take out 3 of these permanents. We have 9 mana, so we can do it all. So I want to take out probably the Thieves Guild Enforcer. Attack with the wolves. Actually, maybe we don't even be aggressive here. Maybe we just play super passive and not risk them blocking with the wolves. So, okay, hold on. We'll start with this. And I'm going to make sure my triggers are stacked. Not auto-order my triggers. And we're going to play the Yorion. I am not attacking because I don't want them to block and then we just lose a Wicked Wolf for no reason. And we're going to blink it all. And that's it for the opponent. Let's go. Alright, so basically, for those of you who don't realize, what we do is we start by... so we give them this back technically, and then we fight it with the wolf. We take out whatever they... so, okay. We fight this with one of the wolves. We apparition the Thieves Guild Enforcer. We fight this with one of the wolves, and we take the spirit that the apparition made with the glass casket, and then even if we draw land from there, we can draw cards off castle. So we're pretty much set to win this game, guys. Alright guys, and we are back. So we really got to see Binding of the Old Gods pop off today. Being able to fetch a Triome after you destroy a permanent is absolutely crazy. And we saw Kaya put in some pretty solid work, taking out another permanent. Man, that line of text take out a permanent is just feels so great. But yeah, we didn't see Trail of Crumbs pop off today, which is probably why I felt like the card advantage was a bit weird, and we didn't see Tybalt get played either, despite me being able to cast him in every game with the Savai Triome. But yeah, guys, I really do recommend you try this list out. It's super fun if Abzan, Yorion, mid-rangey type of thing is your jam. And if the food package isn't for you, again, like I said, just swap it out for a Doom Foretold core and you should be set. Again, I really recommend Maze Mind Tomes over Golden Eggs. I just find that the consistent card advantage is a lot better, which is why you'll see it in all my Doom Foretold builds. So that's it for today, guys. If you enjoyed the video, be sure to drop a like. Deck list will be in the description down below, and I will catch you in the next one. Peace out.